Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the ruler of the 7th house posited in the 5th house in a natal horoscope. Well, one thing I'd like to touch up on as far as this goes, which is kind of an obvious, I guess, well, first, before I even give you the obvious interpretation, firstly, as most of you know, the 7th house governs partnerships, relationships, uh, could be open enemies, business partners, legalities, and the 5th house is connected with, our hobbies, interests, things of amusement, children, love, romance, sometimes even things that are, could be somewhat daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Um, Creativity. Well, anyway, the first thing is that the person might be attracted to a partner that is whimsical, maybe capricious, very, fun-loving, someone that would share hobbies and interests the same with this person, someone that may be interested in sports and just playing, games, whether it be, video games, board games. This person might meet their romantic partner through a business partner type relationship, perhaps. Um, the partner, the significant other, may be somebody that I guess we could say is someone that shares similar creative expression. Maybe somebody that loves children, and this could be the partner, significant other, may be somebody that desires to have a lot of kids. Um, the person might be attracted to the childlike qualities of this person. Since the 5th house corresponds, with Leo, this could also be a partner that, comes across as very, magnanimous, warm, and generous. Might be extravagant, might be somebody that might be a little bit foolhardy. I have this placement, and see, since the 7th house governs open enemies or adversaries, it's possible if Pluto has, if it's negatively aspected or is predominantly negative aspects, the open enemies might conflict with the person's enjoyment in life to some degree. And when I was growing up in New York, I had a number of, I wouldn't say a lot, but there were a few people here and there that I considered, I guess you could say, as enemies or adversaries, which I thought, kind of detracted from whatever, enjoyment that was being, I was attempting to have in certain instances. So, you know, in some cases, unfortunately, the open enemies could, I guess, play a vital role in impacting that person's amusement. You obviously would be to the the detriment, and more likely than not in most cases. Um, this person could have some kind of legalities or documents that are connected with sports, and contracts that are connected with some kind of creative endeavor or interest. Wade Boggs, some of you, baseball fanatics might have heard of him. He played Major League Baseball for 18 seasons, and he has the ruler of the 7th house, not in the 5th house, but in the 4th conjunct the 5th, which you can give, similar, very close interpretation to, pretty much the same interpretation, I believe, if it's conjunct from the 4th house. And you can almost say he was essentially married to a sport for a good part of his life. 18 years is a pretty long year in terms of that longevity, and that is something that is, he obviously was there for a long time, and for a sustained period, and he obviously was enamored with baseball. Um, this could be a person that, I guess we could say, in business, their business partners might be people that they enjoy, things of amusement with, some, pleasure, situations like gaming, and whether it's amusement parks or something, or just things that are fun in general. Perhaps they might marry somebody that already has a number of children prior to the marriage and winds up having a number of stepchildren. Consequently, this could be a position where the we could say I guess you could say that the significant other might be somebody that has very good, I guess you could say, is can impact this person as far as the enjoyment, part of his or her life, and this person may look for marriage as something where it's going to be just very enjoyable, and tries to accentuate the fun-loving part of the situation. Another thing you can look at as far as this placement goes is that since the seventh house deals with legalities, perhaps this could be something that could conflict with the person's fun and amusement to some degree, or conversely, or somewhat, I guess we could say, in a way, not really conversely, but another way of perceiving this, or a way this could impact somebody that has this placement, is that there might be kind of a whimsical or lighthearted way that this person might take legal matters, and obviously this might not, on the positive side, this person might, try not to be too worried about it, or let legal matters dominate his or her thoughts. But on the negative side, if there's legal matters, obviously they're serious and they need to be attended to, and it's something of a serious nature, so it's not something that obviously should be taken lightly. Well, anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the ruler of the 7th house posited in the 5th house in the natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about the ruler of the 7th house in the 6th house in the natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.